and supposedly that they could abduct a certain amount of people. Well, again, from what she was reading, that, this abduction thing was way more than what the government supposedly agreed upon. But then it stands to reason because, we have the missing in the national parks, huge amount of people from 1900 to about 8-9 years ago. It was like 14,000 people gone vanishing. The amount of people that the FBI says that get out to go to work or go to the store, it vanished, are tens of thousands a year. Now, unless we have a huge amount of serial killers out there in the tens of thousands, something is happening with people that are disappearing, and they are vanishing without a trace.
Yeah, they had I forget the gentleman's name. He's written a number of articles and books.
Yeah, the 411.
They how people disappear in the national forests. They go into the forest. They maybe find clothes, or he's had a number of cases where people are camping out, and the person says, I got to go over here and take a leak or whatever, and they go and he never comes back, and then they walk over to where he went. They find his clothes, but not him.
Oh, yeah. And
so it's pretty bizarre cases.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them, like joggers, that, with a group of people jogging on a trail, and all of a sudden one of them totally disappears. They find her clothes, but they don't find her. I mean, a 5-year-old boy 25 feet away from his dad and mom while they're setting the tent disappears. They find him 15 miles away on the side of a mountain, naked with his clothes in a pile. How can a 5-year-old go 15 miles, go up half a mountain, cross rivers and streams at 5 years old without being washed down the river? That don't make sense. The people who gone missing in the cities, like again, I was listening to a report from another interview on another show. The FBI, tens of thousands of people a year are disappearing, no trace, none.
Well, it sounds like the gods are still with us, Gary. I mean, doing the strange things they did centuries ago. Have you heard of the Schaefer mystery with Ray Palmer and Richard Schaefer?
A little bit, yeah. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, it's one of the many legends that there used to be space beings that came here and set up civilization, and they at that time the sun, we weren't getting the full radiation effect from the sun because we had a canopy of water, and in the Bible it talks about the waters above and waters below. This canopy collapsed, and that was your big flood. And then radiation, some of the bad radiation was affecting the civilization down here. And there were two, because of that, the master civilization left the planet because they didn't. Before then, they could live to hundreds of years because of the canopy of water filtered out the bad radiation. And Schaefer called that DE. And a lot of these the people at the time went under the earth because they get more protection from the sun's bad radiation. But they also used the machines that left by the ancient gods or whatever, and the machines would keep their body alive, but it wouldn't keep it would actually extract the radiation, the DE, and made them mentally aberrative, what became known as Diro. And it's these Diro beneath the earth that are harassing us and kidnapping people and doing things. There's a small remnant of people that have not been affected by these machines. They're called Tiro, and they know how to the signs of the good parts of the radiation from the sun, called TE. And this is part of the Schaefer mystery. It's just one of many legends, like Atlantis and Lemura and things like that. about the ancient history of the Earth. I'm not in any way saying it's completely accurate or in no way, but it's one of the many legends that kind of talk about our prehistory and things that happened in the past. They're all fragments of what probably really happened, one way or the other, and. But one of Schaefer's claims was a lot of the Darrow down there would abduct a lot of people from the surface. They used them for as cattle and things down there, or slaves down in the caverns. And I just thought that'd be an interesting thing to mention, with all the strange phenomena going on.
Oh yeah,
kidnapping and things.
Yeah, and there's still people talking about there is like supposedly a hollow Earth, that there is another planet inside of our planet.
Yeah, I think people know intuitively that there's something going on. You can call it subterranean beings. You can call it ultra-terrestrial beings. You can call it whatever you want. But they know something strange going on because they can see it. Like you're talking about all these missing persons in the national forest. And I forget the guy's name. It starts with a P. Pallades.
Plius. I can't think of it either. But I tell you one thing. He has gone to the park, police, and try to get information, and they won't give him any information. They basically told him, hey, if you want these reports, it's going to cost you $1 million. This is from our park system police, okay?
Yeah.
That was, kind of strange. But he claims that, when somebody goes missing, they'd only look for a day or two, and then all of a sudden, that's it, and they don't even keep good notes, records of it. And that's, I find, kind of strange, too.
Yeah, it seems to be part of the overall conspiracy. I don't know if they're doing it consciously or they're just doing it out of fear. They won't cooperate, or they're probably told not to cooperate. It's just too controversial, It's like the UFO question, there we go. Another aspect of the same phenomena, Here we're talking about abductions and missing people, It may not be altogether separate than the UFO question,
It could be. So, I remember, talking to Art off the air, like I said, we were acquaintances. And, there was a rash in the 90s of people that, in government labs, it died off in like a period of like 30-some days. Either car accidents, heart attacks, a fire. It really strange. And these people were trying to bring out information about UFOs and our technology and how we've been being duped, from the government. And then all of a sudden something happened to them.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not unlike the Kennedy assassination, all the witnesses, one by one. And the odds against that are in the millions that it could be coincidence, but a lot of the witnesses disappear, died, whatever, heart attacks, you name it. Someone crashed, some are killed. I think one fella got chopped up. He was going to be a witness for the assassination committee investigation. And then he got chopped up, and then one got shot in his kitchen. He was a mobster. So, this goes on. This is real. The thing is, the newspapers, for all the tragedy they do print, it's so much bigger. We don't really realize some of the tragedy that's going on in our daily lives.
Yeah, I don't think the average person could handle it if they actually knew what was all going on. A friend of mine who actually even does a show on every other Sunday for me on Night Dreams Talk Radio. He was with the DOD for like 13 or 14 years. A couple of things that he told me I didn't even know existed. He said they have devices. The government has devices they could park out in front of your house, okay, and scan you, and you drop over dead with a heart attack.
Yeah. They've had a heart attack gun. The CIA had a heart attack gun. Yeah, I mean, I shudder to think the technology they actually had. And the technology doesn't stand still.
Oh, no.
It advances every day, every year. And some people even speculated these fires out in California were devices that were what we call secular. Well, they were targeted beams that started. Someone even theorized this fire over at the Notre Dame Cathedral was started by a laser beam.
Well, it's quite possible because I think technology has advanced that far or farther, and we just don't know about it. And that's the scary thing. And I don't know. Is this one day? I have a funny feeling we're going to wake up. And, maybe at my age and your age, we're not going to find out. But maybe our relatives will.
They need warm bodies to produce. They need the slaves. They need the cattle to work in the fields, We're a bunch of cotton pickers is what we are. And they need us, I guess until the artificial intelligence replaces us. And then that's scary. They won't need us anymore. They won't have to play games with us. Just put us out of commission.
Yeah.
I don't know why they just don't destroy us now. Maybe they're trying to destroy large populations. They've had, genocide, whatever. They've tried it in the past, so millions of people have died in wars and.
Well, Steve, think about all these FEMA camps sitting empty all across the country. Been empty for 20-some years. They built all these FEMA camps. Why would they build FEMA camps, basically prisons, and just let them sit there empty? So, maybe things, depending on politics, how things, go, maybe it has slowed down what maybe their agenda was.
I don't know. Only thing I can say is sure is confusing, But we'll keep publishing. We'll keep inquiring. We'll keep putting theories out there. What's the worth of a conspiracy theory? To make you think.
Oh yeah.
To make you think that reality is not as shut, glued shut. That it's all over with. That probe people into thinking, tell them there's more going on that they can even imagine. Stop being the cattle that get up at 6, 7 in the morning or whatever and go to work and come home, and then they're still cattle.
Oh, yeah.
They're paying their taxes, they go into court cases which are totally controlled by the legal cabal. I told you about the lady that disagreed with blood spatter analysis because she had been involved in a case personally, and she got investigating, and pretty much a hoax by the legal profession. They use it as a club to win their cases in the courtroom, but it has no scientific reality at all. And that's pretty much the way the legal profession is. It's a playground. It's a playground that they use as means of control and profit, billions of dollars of profit.
Oh yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad what's going on. But how do you make people aware of a lot of this?
Talking about it like what we are now. But you know what, Steve? Our time is almost gone. How can my listeners find you?
Well, I've got. I should have got this ready here. I've got of course, I got my own Facebook page, and I also have a website on WordPress. I can give that out here right now. It's of course www.wordpresscom507.wordpress.com, and it has a lot of articles. Pretty much what we talked about tonight, and I've written articles for UFO Digest. Just put UFO Digest in your Google search, and it'll come up. And some articles I've had on there, and then of course different places like alternate perception news and things. So, but you can probably find